crazy time, crazy world. People acting out of sorts, yeah, the fear-driven, psychological. This hindrance is bringing you down to your knees. Yeah, you're praying all day long, hoping that someone's watching down from above. They can hear the sound of your prayers, the sound of your voice. 'Cause I don't know what to do any longer, I'm losing faith in humanity, yeah. It don't seem like we care for each other anymore. It's just lie after lie. It's just lie after lie. It's just stacking up the lies like a gem blocks. Yeah, someone's pushed them over and yelling Jenga on the side. Yeah, lie after lie, lie after lie after lie. Oh, severe lockdowns, freedom's gone. Whoa, it's all wrong. Grab your gun, I'll meet you round the corner. Someone coming back, tell us where next in line. You've been starved for too long, waiting for some energy to come your way, waiting for the world to wake up before it's too late, yeah. But they're not getting the memo, no. Oh, I must be a Elijah-tarian. No, I ain't handling your lies no more. Oh, it's the same old story. Same stories and over, taking you down. No. Shut off all of that bad news. Yes, do nothing for you. No, it's keeping you at a low vibration. Yeah, we're trying to get your frequency up. Yeah. Trying to get you to share some of the smile, show you care about a dying world, yeah. If you care, you do what you can to get these words out there to the people that don't know, 'cause they can't find it, 'cause someone's stepping all over me and you. Whoa, severe lockdowns, freedom's gone. Whoa, it's all wrong. Grab your gun, I'll meet you round the corner. Someone coming back, tell us where next in line. People getting complacent, we gotta shake it up. We gotta scare them all over again. Tell them there's a new strain, yeah. Oh, nothing gonna penetrate this wall of light and love and positivity. You're welcome anytime, just leave all that baggage at the door. Yeah, because we need to come together away from all the lies, yeah. We get one moment, 1 second, one breath to take. Question is what you're gonna do with it, what you're gonna make of it. Are you gonna let it out, or are you gonna cherish it? You're gonna make the most of it. Oh, severe lockdowns, freedom's gone. Whoa, grab your gun. I'll meet you round the corner. Someone coming back, tell us where next in line. Lie after lie. Everyone living lies, lies, lies.
It's officially Sunday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Renaissance. Here to ease my mind and help my living. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers, Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1259 in a row of the Renaissance Man Show. We're going to get into it just like we do every single night, fam and friends. But tonight, a little different. We premiered my newest episode of Get to Know America. Every Sunday night at 8 p.m. there will be a new premiere. So if you missed it tonight, we're going to be playing it here. And in fact, I think that's what we'll be doing going forward. Every Sunday night there will be a premiere on the Get to Know America page. And then we'll do the replay here in case people still haven't found the Get to Know America page. So if you haven't, please give me a follow on Get to Know America. The link should be above. Play here in case people still haven't found. Link should be above. Let me give it to you one more time, and then we'll pin it so you guys can make sure throughout the show you can grab it. I'm going to be keeping this short tonight. It's Sunday night. We're going to get this clip out there. It's 23 minutes long, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And remember, every single week I'm hoping to be about 23 minutes long, which is exactly what a television program is. They have 23 minutes, so you have enough time for commercials, for 3 commercials, I believe. That's what I'd heard. I don't know. I just naturally, they're showing up to be 22 minutes, 23 minutes, so I hope I can keep that going. And maybe after 10 or 12, we'll be able to hit a network with it and have them pick it up for a season or something. We'll see. But for now, we're in the middle of it. This is Wilton, Connecticut. It was the newest episode. Spent a couple days there and lots of filming. And I think I'm really happy with this episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, what did you think? So 8 p.m. every single Sunday night. There's just one show a week, guys. So I hope what you'll do is subscribe and just keep that in mind that Sunday evenings, when everybody's getting ready for the following week, there is a Get to Know America show, which basically, if you don't know what Get to Know America is, you're about to find out. But the concept is really simple. It's about digging into the soul of America, connecting people again, and on top of that, revitalizing, I guess you would say, the American history that we've long forgotten in each and every town I go. So I should be planning on hitting every single historical society when I do these in order to grab as much color as possible of the last 300-400 years in each of these towns so we can see where we were and where we are, you know? So I'm excited about it. I'll play you guys this new episode in a second as soon as we get a woo-hoo from Zabrowski.
Hey, yeah. So many perfect ways to spend your days. It hit me. Oh, wow. Something to live for, yeah. There's something to die for, yeah. Something to live for, yeah. There's something to die for, yeah. Something to live for.
Get a woohoo! Sunday night. It was a good one. You know, I'm here, I'm wondering. And then all of a sudden he comes through. He's dropping it. So guys, official. I guess this is the third episode, full third episode of Get to Know America. Since I went over to Cinematic 16:9, flipped it sideways so you get the real essence of these shots, and also just it's more cinematic for sure. I'm really enjoying this part. It's funny, the first 2 episodes I did up and down vertical because that's what TikTok is. I thought, well, maybe I'll just make this a TikTok series. We'll just do the series Get to Know America only on TikTok, up and down, you know? And I'm like interviewing people and I'm realizing how hard it is to get everybody on one camera. And so I thought, let me flip the camera. When I went to Greenwich, this guy sat down, he was on a bench, And he's like, he's sitting on the bench. So I said, oh, I guess I'll sit next to you. And it won't be a bad shot. And I set up the camera and I'm like, we can't get this to work. I'm not going to sit right up against this dude. Oh, so, so I set the camera, flipped it. And I'm in the first 5-10 minutes of Greenwich. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I think I got to get this back to vertical. Am I wasting my time? And I just stuck with it. Went the whole day, shot it all in cinematic. And then when I went to edit it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so much better. You get to see the entire perspective. It's not just a... So let me play this for you guys. I gave you the link. This is it right here. Let's see. That's not it. Hold on. I thought I just made a copy of this. Oh, here we go. This is the newest episode. It's called Get to Know Wilton, Connecticut. And it's the newest episode of Get to Know America. And like I said, every Sunday night, 8 p.m., there will be another one of these. There's only one a week. So please subscribe. Click that link right there. And you could subscribe and be a part of next week's premiere. Here we go. Get to Know America. It is an absolutely stunning day here in Wilton, Connecticut. It's Mark Pyers, and it's Get to Know America.
Get to know America. I'll be with you with a new one every day. From my new place, meeting people on the way. Get to know America. Get to know America.
Downtown Wilton, Connecticut. Just under 20,000 people live in this great town here, southern Fairfield County. This is an easy commute to New York City. So I'm driving up into what is considered downtown or the center of Wilton. Now again, Wilton does not have a massive downtown. In fact, we just took a right onto it. And what I'm going to do is just drive to the end real quick so you can see exactly how long of a town this is. We're going. I'm going to pass about 4 things. There's a restaurant there, Coco Nels. There's Berkshire Hathaway. You know what we have to do? We see a Berkshire Hathaway office. We have to go do a feature in front of it. Ooh, look at this. They have like some sort of pop-up park. I'm going to the pop-up park. This is what I'm talking about. Get to know America.
Get to know America.
So guys, I came down here to Wilton and there's like some sort of pop-up park going on, which I think is really cool. I'm gonna see if anybody wants to come on quickly, talk about Wilton. And before it looks like they're wrapping up, so let's see if we can get somebody on camera. Would anybody be interested in getting on my YouTube video / TikTok? I'm doing a show called Get to Know America, and I'm in Wilton today.
I just looked up everything.
Okay. No worries. I'm here really to find out what people love about Wilton, if anybody's from Wilton. I'm here with Sonia right now. This is Get to Know America, and we're in Wilton, Connecticut. And you're here for this really awesome Wilton's Farmers Market.
Yes, so every Wednesday from 12 to 5, they have this whole farmers market, and it's a bunch of small businesses that come together to sell stuff, and it's so amazing.
So I just always ask everybody, where would you send me next?
Okay, so there are a few places in the community where you could go. You could head downtown, down by Marin Meadows. It's up by the church. The bell rings every afternoon, and I love hearing it. It's like one of my favorite sounds.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and down there is a local pond. It has a playground.
Feeling like no matter what, if I capture a few areas, I'm going to get enough for an episode. It was a pleasure to meet you. Take care, okay? Have a great day. So I'm down here at the Wilton Historical Society, and nobody's here. So we're going to have to come back tomorrow. Really want to see if I can get inside, find out what kind of artifacts they have here, and get a little bit more information on the rich history of Wilton. I'm standing in front of the Raymond Fitch house from 1772, and there's a great plaque over there. We'll get a shot of it in a moment. But there are 3 buildings here interconnected that make up the Wilton Historical Society, commemorating Captain Clapp Raymond of the Wilton Militia, who resided in this house, and all officers and men who served during the War for Independence from the parish of Wilton, Connecticut. We're gonna have to find out more about this tomorrow. Before we head out for the day, I'll be coming back here tomorrow to see if I can get inside and speak to someone. I just want to show you the buildings they have here on premises. They've got a blacksmith shop. There's several barns over here, and I'm hoping that what we find when we go in there is that they're set up the way that people lived back in the 1700s. So, until tomorrow, when I see you back here in Wilton, Connecticut for the continuation and completion, it's Mark Pyers, and it's Get to Know America. Well, I'm back for day 2 down here, Wilton, Connecticut, and I'm at a little special place called Merwin Meadows Park. It's a place for families to come. There's playground equipment. There's also an entrance to the Norwalk Valley River Trail, which we're going to go over and take a peek at. So we're here at the Norwalk River Valley Trail, which is located in Wilton, Connecticut. This is just amazing. I absolutely love this. Maybe we should take a walk. Maybe we should take a walk into the trail for the show. Should I go trailing it? Maybe this would become like a hiking adventure here in Wilton. We're doing a hiking adventure here on Get to Know America. I didn't bring my galoshes, though. I love that Wilton is doing this. They're bringing the outside experience to the people. So on the days you're looking for exercise, you really don't need a gym. You can head down here to the Norwalk River Valley Trail and just take a hike. You know, there was a church from 1790 I read about. I know I've driven past it before. It's on Ridgefield Road. And I've shown many homes on Ridgefield Road before. Let's see if we can find it. We're at the Wilton Congregational Church, built in 1726. Let's go take a look. This church has been here in service since 1726. The structure was built in 1790. It is officially the oldest church in Fairfield County. You know, some may wonder, how do you keep a structure from 1790 on its feet? Only one word: maintenance. So I'm not getting my hopes up, but I'm going to go inside and see if anybody will join me and share a little bit of detail about this church from 1790. Hello. Hi, how are you? I'm doing a show called Get to Know America, and I'm on Wilton today, and I'm trying to delve into the history of these towns. And I know this is the oldest church in Fairfield County. And I didn't know if maybe somebody would come on to just talk about the history. Okay, so what was your name? I'm sorry.
I'm Reverend Caroline.
Reverend Caroline. Very nice to meet you. Mark Pyers. I'm the host of Get to Know America, and we're here in Wilton, Connecticut today. And I did a little research last night, and I found out this is the oldest church in Fairfield County.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure. This is the congregation's second building. Our first building is from 1726 down the road.
Wow.
And then the community outgrew it and needed a bigger space and a more permanent space. So they moved up here in 1790.
Wow, 1790. Are there any original family members still here?
You know, there are some names that you'd recognize from our covenant. The covenant for the church founded the town. The two were linked, you know, in 1726. One was synonymous with the other. The church existed because of the town existed because of the church.
Church, okay, yeah.
Many of those families have turned over, but you'd recognize them on street names around here, names of schools, stuff like that.
So how long have you been the Reverend here?
I am one of two. We have
Okay.
a senior pastor, Reverend Ann Kaufman, and then myself. And I've been here 2.5 years, but grew up in the area.
Oh, you did? Is there anything you want to share, or any place you think I should go with the camera in order to get some more information for the show?
I think the building is lovely. You know, the outside is welcoming. Those red doors are a long-time symbol of welcome, and that this is a place of refuge and asylum, and all are welcome. They're very lovely. I don't know if they're painting right now.
I said if you're wondering how you keep a building from 1790 up,
a lot of work.
maintenance. Yeah, you got to continue to
we
work.
We have a lot of projects going right now.
Is it all based on donation and tithing? Is that how you basically?
Yep, our church is self-funded,
Okay.
And so members and friends give to the church, and then we have been invested. We've been here a long time, so
1790.
Been good stewards of the gifts of this community, and so.
Well, I can't thank you enough for joining me and sharing a couple of details. Yeah. It seems the camera really loves you.
Well, thank you for the work you're doing.
It was a pleasure.
About our,
yeah. So I'm here in Cannondale Village, this adorable historic area in Wilton, Connecticut. As you see, they've got these old mobile gas pumps in the back. Now, over here is the Cannondale General Store, established in 1789. So I'm in Cannondale, I'm shooting this scene, getting ready to bring you into the general store, and a gentleman pulls up, he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're shooting a show called Get to Know America, and I'm here in Wilton today." He says, "You know, I own the general store. It's really not a general store, it's just a sign. It's an antique shop now, and they sell ceramics." So he said he's willing to come on to talk to us here on camera and share some of the history of Cannondale. There he is. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Mark
Nice to meet
Pyers.
you. My name is Mark Garan.
Oh, Mark and Mark. We have
Another
the
Mark.
two Marks in the
Pretty
show.
good, yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. How long have you been the owner of the store?
Well, actually, I'm not the owner of the store. I'm the owner of the property.
Oh, the whole
It's
property.
about 11 acres. Yeah.
Wow.
What you see here is the mid-19th century downtown.
This was the original downtown.
This whole area, this whole farming area.
Wow.
This was the hub of the farming area.
Okay.
And the way it happened is that 1852, the first train tracks were built.
Okay.
So this station really came into being. And around this station, they built a center, a village center. This was the first station building in 1852. And down the ground floor was the general store, and the second floor was the lounge.
I see. Okay.
And this station, which is the Victorian Station, that was built in 1894.
This was 1894.
94. So what you see here is the evolution of three stations. This is the first one, like the country one, the Victorian, and then we have, the modern station that was built like 20 years ago.
So the town still maintains ownership over the...
Well, that belongs to the Metro North Railroad. Actually, this place is called Cannon because it was established by what we could call a local tycoon named Charles Cannon.
Okay.
He was like fourth generation, one of the original settlers, and he lived in the house on the corner of Danbury Road.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is one of the earliest train tracks. So when the railroad was going to be built, the Danbury line,
yep,
he became the contractor.
Oh, so you got all the work.
Guess where he puts a station? In his own land.
Yeah,
and that's an old real estate trick.
Yeah, you can bring the commerce to you.
Exactly.
Smart.
So he puts a station here and creates this little first retail center in town. So this was the postmaster here for 3 generations, right here. I have photos.
That's
you go
amazing.
to our website, cannondalevillage.com.
Okay.
You will see photos of a number of buildings.
Of the buildings when they were...
Including the post office.
Now, it may be good if I could find those and tie them into the shot so we could show the way it looked originally.
Well, you can certainly do that.
I'll do that. I'll find them.
Now, further up, you have the schoolhouse.
Oh, up here, the schoolhouse.
That's the one-room schoolhouse.
Oh, wow.
That was built in 1872,
Wow.
but it was originally located on the corner there of Route 7, Danbury Road, and was moved.
Oh, okay.
Now, this place was revived and restored by a well-known actress called June Havoc.
Okay.
June Havoc was a legend in her time. She was a vaudeville star and then a movie star, and her sister was Gypsy Rose Lee, and it played gypsies about her life.
Okay.
I bought it from her.
You bought it from her? Wow. How long ago was that?
That was 1990, actually.
So, wow.
Yeah.
So you've had this for 30 years, 32 years.
Almost, yeah.
It's amazing. Was this one of your first properties or no?
Well, I'm actually a publisher, so I was looking for some office space, and then we also moved into her house, which is a mill house.
That's amazing.
Further up, there's a pond and the waterfall, and that's the house. That's a restored mill house. We had a very good time here.
Yeah.
My children grew up here.
It's amazing.
Good fun. It's all on the river. You have the Norwalk River here. It's really a piece of American history. I could say it's probably the defining landmark of the town of Wilton.
I'm so lucky that I ran into you because my new concept on the show, at first, I'm a real estate agent in Fairfield and New Canaan, and my first thought was, I need to remind people why these towns are great. And then I thought to myself, it shouldn't just be about how cool these towns are. It should be about the rich history of these towns.
I would say this is probably the only authentically preserved 19th century village center south of Massachusetts.
Really?
Yeah.
This location right here,
this
Cannondale.
Here, right? This village. Like
wow.
This historic cluster is like as it was 150 years ago.
That's wonderful that you kept it that way.
You know what? Do you have a second?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, she lived here. Okay.
And this is the carriage house she built where she wrote her 2 biographies.
Wow.
She has 2 biographies. One starting from the vaudeville era when she was like 2 years old. She was the biggest vaudeville star.
It's amazing.
And and I can play gypsy with a very strong stage mother. And she was also a big winner in dance marathons because they were hungry
She
in
just
the Depression.
dance
She
all
died
night.
like 98 years old, about
Wow.
10 years ago.
That's amazing. So if you're coming down to Wilton, Connecticut, and you're not stopping at Cannondale, you're missing Wilton, Connecticut. So Mark, it was a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for your time. This was amazing. Take care. Have a great day, okay? So I'm wrapping it up. I'm here in Cannondale. That was an amazing conversation and tour of Cannondale Village with Mark, the owner of the property. 11 acres. Oh, there's a lot of history we need to get into here in Wilton. Let's keep going. So I'm back at the Wilton Historical Society. We're gonna go inside, see if they have any artifacts, and maybe they could share a little bit of the history of Wilton with us. I did read last night that some of the homes here were a part of the Underground Railroad. I wanna get into these buildings and see a little bit more about Wilton, Connecticut. So, let's go inside. Oh my goodness. There's a letter here. I don't see dates on them, but 1716 document from the Norwalk Ridgefield boundary line. Wow. A colonial tomahawk. Do you see the tomahawk? You see that? Jeez. This is the way they lived back in the 16 and 1700s, guys. How you doing? Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name is Mark Pyers. I'm doing a show called Get to Know America.
Okay.
And I'm in Wilton today, last couple days. And I wanted to see if somebody here would want to chat a little bit about Wilton, about the historical events, possibly.
Yeah. So our director, Nick, he's actually not in today.
Oh, okay. I can come back another day for him.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you need some help?
Sure. Well, I'm filming a show called Get to Know America. I'm just trying to get some information. I'm really trying to dig into the history of Wilton, see if I could have that be a part of the show.
Yeah.
So if somebody here has some knowledge about the historic events, that would be helpful.
I would say that this is like the best like overview of Wilton history that we have right now. This wall.
This wall right here. Okay.
Right here in the bottom left, that's a fragment of King George's statue that was found in Crown Pond Swamp in Wilton. It was actually a piece of the statue from that was in Manhattan of King George. It was torn down, I think, 5 days after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It was
Wow.
supposed to be shipped to Litchfield to be broken down into musket balls, but then some of the Tory families kind of wanted to intercept pieces of those statues, and they kind of dispersed it throughout Wilton to try to prevent that.
So there's more than this. This is just one you have, but there's other pieces throughout the town randomly in houses.
Yeah, there's stuff underground, stuff. I think something like 1,400 pounds of the statue is still unaccounted for.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is a letter is interesting. 1757 letter.
Yeah, so that one, the Lamberts were a pretty prominent family in Wilton. We also own that one. That one's 150 Danbury Road. It's like where the Christmas barn, we have like a big complex of
Okay.
buildings right there. So I guess that's confirming the sale of the slave to David Lambert, which is one of the earliest settlers in Wilton.
Surprised they didn't cancel that. You know? I mean, everything got canceled. That's part of the reason why this show exists. I think history needs to at least be acknowledged, even when things weren't done correctly. That's why we learn from our history so we don't do the same things in the future, you know? And I worry about that. And I think that's why we have to preserve our history and talk about the ugly parts of our history too, so people understand where we went wrong and how we learned from those mistakes.
That's
and then
exactly right. And the curator that we work with is, he's now going into the schools, Nick Foster, and talking about slavery and working with the schools. So we're re-exploring that.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Revolutionary War history because
Can I just get you to come on and say this? 'Cause I think it's better if it's, I'm the only one. I do appreciate it. What was your name again?
Catherine Lipper.
Catherine Mark Pyers. It's a
Nice
pleasure
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you. So we've had a really nice chat here, and I just thought, well, maybe we should bring this on camera. The town of Wilton itself, there's so much history. I read something about the Underground Railroad was through here. There's a few houses.
Yes.
I didn't know if there's ever like a way to see that. There's no houses that are like, hey, come on in and look at our
Well,
underground.
actually, we still have one standing that was connected to the Underground Railroad, and that's at 36 Sealy Road.
36 Sealy Road.
And that location was a confirmed Underground Railroad location. And there's one other building that's since been demolished that was close to a railroad that also may have been on the Underground Railroad. So there was some activity here in Wilton.
That's amazing. I think the amount of rich history we don't talk about in Wilton.
Right.
Was it 1640? Was it Roger Ludlow who purchased this land? Do you know what that was? Someone purchased it in 1640. I want to say it was Ludlow and Friends. Does that make sense?
I think you're right.
I actually came over here yesterday, and I missed you guys, but I was here like probably late in the day. So I did a nice walk around the outside and a few other pieces. I thought it was amazing. You have a blacksmith shop. Like, that's so cool, you know? It reminded me a lot of when I was a kid, when they're like, hey, you're going on that field trip. And all of a sudden you're back there, and like all of a sudden you walk around, people are wearing the clothing from the 1700s. Do you ever do that here?
We actually do, and we very
Love that.
recently held a field trip for the Riverside School in Greenwich, and they met the blacksmith, and the blacksmith's shop was open.
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
yeah,
So they all
Yeah.
dressed in colonial garb and everything. They're doing
yes.
that type
So
of setup.
we had that field trip, and then more locally, Lady of Fatima sent their kids. They were K through 2. I think there were some third graders as well. Up here, we had a field trip for them geared more towards the younger years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should do more of that with all the towns should be sending their kids here because this is a different type of environment. I mean, Ridgefield didn't have this. They have one room,
Right.
and then they have everything
Right.
down inside like storage or locked up in some safe. And I feel like to be able to let kids understand the history of this great town could be good for all of the towns, not just for Wilton.
Yeah, definitely. And as I was telling you before, it mostly has a rural and agrarian history.
There were old horse stables dating back to the colonial era that were back there, and we didn't have like a preservation institution in Wilton to protect those buildings, and they ended up getting torn down.
Oh no.
So that was like kind of what inspired like the first people from Wilton Historical to try to like
Preserve.
right, exactly. And we do have an exhibit opening up tomorrow. Actually, we have a painting that features that. It's showing like I forget when the painting was, finished, but it shows the Congregational Church and it shows those horse stables, and that's important for us because we can kind of point to that, like that's the reason why we started.
That's the reason this is all going on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and since then, with like the opening of Route 7, that's why we've moved all of these buildings to our 3 campuses. Like not all these buildings have been here, obviously, so we tried to move things over the years.
Yeah, it's almost like we were talking about with just even canceling anything from the history. Just like one thing was taken away and you have a photo that shows it. And now it's like, look, this is the reason why we exist. Because you've got to preserve all history. You can't get rid of things that you don't like. You let it all there because then you could tell your kids what we did as a country 200, 300 years ago can't be on us, but we need to learn from our mistakes. And I fear a world, I have young kids where they would say, oh, I didn't know that we did that horrible atrocity to the Indians or to African Americans or whatever it is. We need to understand how cruel people were 300 years ago. And that's how we learn to never do it again. So anyway, this has been a pleasure to meet you. I really thank you so much for your time. Looks like we did it again, huh? Wilton, Connecticut. The next town in the books here at Get to Know America. If you have a town or a business you'd like to see featured on Get to Know America, shoot us a DM below, gettoknowamerica@gmail.com. And make sure you follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you don't miss any show or any content. It's Mark Byers. And it's Get to Know America.
Get to know America.
Oh, there we go, fam and friends. That is the official 3rd episode of Get to Know America. And every single Sunday at 8 p.m., we will premiere a new one. So this week I suppose I'll be out there filming somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm going to film this week, but I have to go find a new town. Maybe I'll go to Newtown. Newtown is going to have some serious... when I do Newtown, it's going to be a tough one because that's where Sandy Hook took place. and I'm going to have to cover that. So I really don't know about Newtown. That's going to be down the line. I'm going to do Fairfield over. I'm going to do New Canaan over. I'm going to do Greenwich. Well, Greenwich is done. I'm going to do Fairfield and New Canaan over, do Westport over, because those were just like the first runs. And I didn't really know that I was doing a show at the time. I was just trying to do something about real estate and talk about the towns. Now it's about the towns. It's about the people. It's about the history. You know, we have historical societies in all of these towns, and maybe we visit them, maybe we get the information, but most times I would say we don't. My kids have been to the Fairfield Historical Society. My wife has been there, obviously, with them. But I haven't been there yet. I've been living here for 15 years. I haven't been down there. So I think I'm going to go there tomorrow. Or the next day, whenever I can. I sell real estate during the day. It's not like I'm doing this because it's like I've got some production company. It's like, hey, here's money so you can go do this. So I find time. Whenever I've got an hour, I'll go and film something. It just so happened the last couple of weeks I had more time than I'd like to have on my hands, so I was filming during those moments. I'd rather be doing something than not. So this week, I think with what's happening in the market, I still think there's something going on out there. I need to find 50 more clients. So this week, I think I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to film, to be honest, but I'll do my best. Just remember, I will be here tomorrow for day 1,260 in a row, and we will do it all over again. So until then, fam, friends, I appreciate you. And of course, if you have not seen the other 5 episodes, because there's other like vertical stuff over on the, actually they're here on the Renaissance Man page, so you can go back and watch them over the last few weeks. But please hit the pinned link right above you and go over to the Get to Know America page and follow. Give us a subscribe because this is a 1 day a week show, only on Sunday nights. I'll be dropping little shorts throughout the week, so if you could share those, like those, that'll be great. But for now, make sure you're at least tuning in and telling one friend if possible. And tomorrow, do it all over again. So until then, let me just say goodnight to you. If you're here or you're lurking, say goodnight or forever hold your peace. This ad is 1 minute and 3 seconds long. I have to wait that long? No, okay, there we go. It's like, what? That's a little crazy. I'm just opening up the chat here, see who's kicking it with us. Should have done that earlier. But I didn't. That's weird. Am I not in here? It won't let me see. That's really weird. Well, I'm going to go off the screen then. Sigma Brother, DPFX, Blind Fear, Pamela Swan. Who else? Let's scroll. I'm scrolling back. Yardbirds. Love it. Trish Killian. I'm scrolling. I'm a-scrolling. I think I may have gotten everybody. I'm not going too far back, but I am going enough to see it looks like Nick M. Nick M is in the house too. Nick, so good to see you. Thank you so much. And I think I also saw rolling in Aspen Fox doing it. So guys, tomorrow, make sure you join me. I'll be on around 10:30, and we'll do another 30-minute mark. So day 1,260 in a row. Subscribe to the Get to Know America page, and also Mr. Live Creation is the other YouTube channel, if you can subscribe to that as well. And till tomorrow, it's Mark Pyers. And it's Renaissance Man. I love you guys. See you tomorrow. You got to go away, yeah. You got to go away. Till tomorrow, fam. Till tomorrow.